This is the case of Corey Johnson, who stabbed 3 people at a birthday party, killing one 13-year-old boy. His stated reasoning for the stabbing was to uphold the respect of Islam, a religion to which he recently converted. But a more in-depth look at Corey shows that he had a gamut of psychological, personal, and social problems that pushed him toward violence. If you want to get straight to the FBI interrogation, see the time code below. For everyone else, I'm just going to talk off the cuff today. I don't have a script because, for the most part, I've covered everything important about Corey Johnson in the last video, which is also in the description. Nevertheless, I have a couple points to make before this interrogation starts. This video is in 2 parts. The first is the FBI interrogating Corey, and the second is Corey's mom talking to Corey the first time after the stabbings. I want you to pay attention to 2 things. First is the seemingly scatterbrained method by which the FBI questioned Corey. In contrast to the police interrogation, the FBI agent is much less focused in his line of questioning. It could be that the FBI just wants to figure out more about the mind of a killer. After all, the crime has already been committed, so there's not much more the FBI can do to help. But this seems to be a pattern in FBI interrogations. Perhaps I'm biased, but I cannot recall a single time when the FBI stopped a crime. In the hundreds of police interrogations I've watched, I've seen good police work and bad police work. The result of that good police work has been lives saved. But as for the FBI, it seems that they just monitor, wait, and question suspects after the crimes have been done. And I'm not the only one who has noticed this. And I think if you've been paying attention to the news, you've also probably seen something like this. Like, how many times have you read a news article about a killing where the FBI says something like, "We were well aware of the suspect and we were monitoring him"? Well, why didn't you do something? Some believe there's like a conspiracy that the FBI is actively encouraging crime. I'm not really well versed on the reasoning behind this conspiracy, but the FBI is certainly not helping itself with its crazy history. You remember like when the FBI tried to talk Martin Luther King Jr. into killing himself? I'll pull up a article on this. It's a real thing that happened. In any case, while I have great respect for the detectives who do their jobs well anyway, I don't have much respect for the FBI, at least based on what I've seen so far. I'm open to change my mind, but the interrogation you're about to watch just pushes me more into the anti-FBI direction. This FBI agent seems really pissed off for one reason or another, and he doesn't really ask questions that seem useful in understanding the reasoning behind the murder. Perhaps he's pissed off because he failed at his job. After all, he visited Corey a year before the crime was committed. If the FBI knew this teenager was a public danger, I mean, why didn't they do more than simply recommending he stay away from extremism? I can only hope that this FBI's agent's anger is directed toward the internal workings of the FBI and its inability to actually stop crime before it happens. I don't know why else he'd be angry. Alright, second, I want you to pay attention to Corey's mom's actions. So, I watched this interrogation blind, and when Corey's mom entered the room, I actually didn't know it was his mother for some time. Corey and his mom's interaction style is just very strange to me. It doesn't seem like a mother and son's interaction style. When they first started talking, I had no idea who she was. I was thinking maybe it was a lawyer or some guidance counselor. And I didn't figure out it was his mother until she started talking about house rules. Clearly, with a dead father and a mother like this, Corey didn't have good guidance at home. And his mother's noticeably uncaring regarding the victims. That really stood out to me. She didn't seem to care very much about the death of the 13-year-old child. She seemed a little more concerned about, I'd say, kind of showing false empathy toward Corey. She gives Corey a little side hug and she says she loves him, but it seems all really robotic. It's like an alien acting like she thinks humans should act. So many things went wrong in this case, and so many adults, including Corey's mom and the FBI agents visiting him, had chances to intervene, yet they didn't. I don't really know how to sum this up. I mean, you could say society failed Corey, you could say his parents failed him, you can say the religious leaders failed him, you could say it's his fault for becoming an extremist, or it's the fault of pharmaceutical companies for putting him on Zoloft and then taking, and then, it's a clusterfuck.
What's that? You need any more water? You sure? Right. You know who I am, Corey. I was at your house a year ago. You remember my name?
I don't.
You know where I work for?
FBI.
Okay. What was I doing at your house a year ago?
Trying to say I'm a bad person. Trying to say I need to stop what I'm doing.
Was I trying? Or was I saying you were a bad person? Was I telling you to stop what you were doing?
Yes.
Alright, well, we're going to talk about what happened in the last 24 hours. Because I know everything you've been up to for the last year and a half at least. Okay. You're aware that I talked to Kyle? Kyle tell you that?
I don't want to say anything.
You're trying to protect Kyle? Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's kind of foolish because he's not protecting you.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's been talking to for the last hour?
You guys.
1 second. Huh? Yeah, that's the deal. I'm gonna let you do the honors, alright?
Yep. So I know you've already done this with Miranda warnings with the police. It's just a formality. They said you've been cooperating and talking. We appreciate that. And I even said you have a story to tell. But so I'm going to read this to you. I'll maybe sign something here. But you have the right to remain silent, not to answer any questions. Tell me in your own words what you think this means.
I don't have to say anything.
Okay, great. Any statements you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Tell me in your own words what you think about this.
I have to do it by my own free will.
Absolutely. You have the right to representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during the questioning. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence or representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statements during this questioning. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. If at any time in the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you are privileged to remain silent. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I can make no threats, no promises to induce you to make a statement. This is on your own free will. You understand that?
Yes.
Any statement can and be will used against you in a court of law. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So I need you to just sign this. You can read. You're not on drugs. You're not anything right now. You're not drunk.
Right.
Okay. I'm just going to have you sign. You can read this, and then you can sign right there. And we can take any statements you want from us. So the front side is actually the, and this is what I just read to you.
Sign both of them.
Just sign that right there. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. This way you can tell us your story, what's going on, get your message out. All right.
That's the
Appreciate
best I
that.
could do.
No, I understand. I understand. Okay. So.
We're going to go over a few things here today. Most importantly, and probably the most urgent, I need to know if you were in contact with anybody else. But are you a part of ISIS? Do you pledge your support to ISIS, your allegiance?
I guess you could say that.
Have you ever talked to anybody from ISIS that you
No.
believe?
No.
Who do you pledge your support to?
Kayla.
Sorry, say that again?
Kayla.
Okay. I talked to you a year ago. You told me you converted, you took the Shahada in your bedroom. You also told me that, you believed in the Quran and believed in being a good Muslim. In fact, after I spoke to you, it sounded like your grandmother was driving you to a mosque to actually get an education at the mosque and not self-educate on the internet. What happened?
Well, I had to ride my bike there. I wasn't doing everything. And then when school started, I just stopped going because I didn't have time.
Okay. But when did you start supporting the extremist views of Islam?
I don't support extremism.
Didn't you just stab someone to death?
Yes.
For not believing in the same...
That's not extreme.
It's the religion.
It's what?
It's the religion.
Elaborate.
That's what we have to do.
You have to do... Tell me what you have to do. What does that mean? To stab your best friends, brothers, friends? What does that mean? What do you have to do?
I have nothing to say.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm interested in this. Like, I want to understand the religion. I don't understand the religion that well. So, if it's not extreme,
You work for the FBI too?
This is my
Yeah,
point.
we'll do it. Yes, sir. Explain to me, like, why? Is it if you support religion? Did this guy badmouth the religion? Is that what you mean by as part of the religion? You have to stand up for it, or explain to me
No, he
what
didn't
happened?
say anything directly.
You're not okay. So just tell me your story then. What happened?
He didn't do anything to me personally, but anyone
He-
else didn't do.
What do
So
people,
why-
I'm sorry, let's talk about that. What else have people done to you? What's
Yeah.
angered you?
Nothing about anger. It's just what the disbelievers do.
People who don't believe in ICE in what?
Islam, religion, not whatever group you think I'm a part of.
I don't know what you're part of. What?
I'm confused. So you're saying you're a good Muslim.
Right.
Yet you interpreted the Quran in a way that would allow you to kill somebody for not sharing the same beliefs as you.
After the sacred months have passed, kill the pagans wherever you find them.
Did you ask him to convert and he wouldn't?
No,
How did you know he wasn't a Muslim?
because the way he acts, he doesn't pray.
So you were praying and he wouldn't pray next to you?
No, not that. I know, just the way he acts And plus, when I went to pray, he didn't pray, so I'm positive he wasn't Muslim.
So you guys were celebrating. At least it sounds like there was a birthday party for somebody.
It was his birthday.
It was his. So you're telling me everybody else in that group are Muslims?
No.
So then why do you try to kill everybody, including Kyle? Kyle just told me 9 days ago he's not Muslim.
Kyle's my best friend. I wouldn't kill him. Well, he was my best friend.
But he's not a Muslim though. So you guys don't share.
He's not your best friend now?
I mean, you just say you ratted me out, and I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate me stabbing his brother and mother.
No, I don't think he does.
Are you remorseful for stabbing them? Or was it just, that's just part of the game for you?
Yeah, I probably should have done something different.
All right.
What, did he know you were gonna do this?
No. Didn't tell him.
This was premeditated. You bought a knife. You brought a knife. So this wasn't a knife you found at the house. You actually brought a knife there.
I brought a knife, but it wasn't for that. It was just, I bought a knife for self-defense, and it just happened that this was an easy opportunity because they were all sleeping in different rooms.
Okay. Easy opportunity to kill people that don't share the same beliefs as you. I'm still trying to understand your motivation for killing somebody who was hanging out with you. You guys were in the same group, the same family. You're under the same roof. Why would you target him? I mean, Corey, you're elaborating on a lot of different things, which I appreciate that you're being forthcoming with me, especially considering our relationship. You know, I've been to your house. You just accused me of trying to say you were a bad person. Okay, so I guess I'm just a little confused when you decide not to talk about certain motivations.
Why would I?
To explain your side of the story.
Your friend just asked if I was remorseful. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. There's nothing I could do now.
So you feel bad for killing him.
Yeah.
Just because you were caught? Because you genuinely feel bad that...
There was no way I was going to escape that. I didn't think at all that there was any way I could escape that. So it's not that I was caught.
All right, we're gonna go back a little bit. You know, I know you're a little bit newer to the investigation, but you're up to speed. When I saw you a year ago, I was confronting you about the online threats to that school, Macaulay High School. Okay, and it was a big deal. I told you it made the news over there. The kids were pulled out of school because of the threats. Since then, everybody in your family's told me that you've changed. You knocked that stuff off. You weren't even spending as much time on the computer.
The Macaulay thing was before I was even a Muslim. It was completely unrelated, and I did it by mistake.
What do you mean before you were Muslim? You used Daesh as one of your screen names.
That is an insultive name. It's not. It's an insult. Because it sounds similar to another Arabic word that I think means oppressor or something like that.
So you weren't Muslim, but you were using ISIS-inspired threats. You told the girl that she would marry a fighter.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but
I do.
Yeah, I wasn't Muslim then, and Daesh is an insulting name for that group.
When did you become Muslim? When did you take the Shahada?
January 1st, 2017.
All right, we bounced around a little bit. Let's go back to yesterday. What happened? Tell me. I want to know everything from the time you woke up Sunday morning yesterday.
Sunday morning yesterday?
Yeah, you were at your house in Jupiter?
No, I was at, and you can't look at the video that they just recorded. I was at an abandoned plaza, which I was sleeping inside of.
What's the address?
No address. It's the McDonald's near the melting pot on US 1. It's by there.
I need to know exact. Can you pull it out on your phone? Do you have a phone on you? And you know on the map what that is. So McDonald's near US 1.
Yeah. So anyway, I was around there, I slept there, I woke up there, and I was just up and about. I went to McDonald's for breakfast.
Why weren't you at home? Why weren't you living at home?
Because of having problems with Jay.
What's the problem?
He's just abusive and
Abuse, physically or verbally?
both.
He's hit you.
He's pushed me down, he shoved me against walls, stuff like that. He's never punched me.
What about the verbal abuse? What happened?
Just saying I'm lazy and immature and getting up in my face, yelling and screaming.
Did he tell you that I spoke to him recently?
No, he didn't, but I know.
What do you know? How do you know?
I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble.
No, listen, the only person that's in trouble right now is you. Okay?
Alright, well, I know he was instructed not to tell anyone. He told my mom, and he told my mom not to tell anyone, and my mom told me.
That I called him for an update on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that upset you?
No,
I mean, you knew you were on our radar.
it wasn't surprising.
Okay. Jay told your mother. Who told you? Why did she tell you? Was it a warning? Hey, Corey, keep, watch out. The FBI is still asking about you.
It was because Kyle, you probably know, he recorded you and sent it to me.
Oh, so something. Okay.
And then I told my mom about it. I actually watched it with my mom, and that's when my mom told me about that.
Okay. What was your mom's reaction to that, knowing that we were still looking into you?
Well, part of it was funny because of how inaccurate some of the things were. Like, oh, he celebrates Umar Mateen's birthday. Muslims don't even celebrate their own birthdays, much less some random guy.
Okay.
Just stuff like that, inaccuracies. And she thought there was nothing wrong, I'm fine. And she told me, she said, keep her updated.
Your mom said there was nothing wrong with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to yesterday morning. You woke up in this abandoned building.
I went outside. I went at McDonald's. I ate there. Then I was just on my phone at McDonald's. I think I was on Instagram or Telegram or one of those, just wasting time until work. And that's when I decided to go to maybe around 2:50 maybe. I decided to head to the Publix on foot, and that's where I bought some dates, I bought the knife, and I bought a drink.
What job were you waiting
I worked at Winn-Dixie.
for? How long? I thought you just started. I thought you had even started 2 weeks ago. When did you start?
This is probably like my third week.
Okay. What were you doing there?
I'm a stalker.
I'm sorry, you said you bought dates, a knife, and what else?
It's just a drink, like a fruit drink at Coconut Mango.
Okay. Alright, so roughly what time is this? You're done with Publix.
Well, I think I got the time wrong. I went there. I don't know. When I got out, it was like, no, maybe it was around 3 when I got out, I think. Or, no, because, yeah, around 3. And so I was going back to where my bike was. I had my bike hooked up to a tree in the plaza area, but I came back and it was stolen. Somebody broke the lock off and took my bike. So then I just I was walking to work, but I wasn't even halfway there, and I was already late by maybe a half hour, an hour. So that's when I got in contact with Kyle, and I just decided to walk down to downtown Gardens, and I met with him there.
Okay.
Him and Dane, and then we met with the other people later.
Alright. What did you guys do at the gardens?
We just walked around and wasted some time until we went to Grimaldi's, I think.
Yeah,
That's what it's called.
that's where you guys were celebrating. Giovanni's birthday.
Right.
It's a restaurant at the gardens. The Gardens Mall or the Gardens
Downtown.
Downtown Gardens. All right. So what time you guys? How long were you there?
From about 4 until no, it wasn't. No, I got there later than 4. Maybe 6. I don't know. It took me a while to walk there because I stopped at McDonald's to get a drink, and I stopped at another Publix to use the restroom. But and then by the time to maybe 9 or 10, when Elaine picked us up and drove us home.
All right. So you get back to Elaine's house and Bell and Isles.
Yes.
What's well, knowing that we were there talking to Elaine and Kyle about you, what was Elaine's attitude towards you?
I mean, she doesn't really talk to me, but I know she was texting Kyle like, "Oh, you should be grateful. You should be kinder towards me because I'm putting up with Corey. You should put up with Sean, which is her not boyfriend, but someone she's known for a long time, and he disappeared from their lives, and now he just recently got back and started talking to Elaine and all of them." And then Kyle was complaining about it, and then she says, "Oh, I put up with Corey, you gotta put up with Sean." So I know she doesn't like me. But since I was Kyle's only friend, she let me sleep with him.
All right. So you guys get back to the house between 9 and 10 o'clock last night. Who was there now in the house?
Elaine, Giovanni, Dane, Kyle, and me.
What's Giovanni's last name?
No idea.
All right. So what happened?
Nothing happened. It's just they were listening to music. They were FaceTiming people. They were vaping nicotine. And
Who got the nicotine?
it was Kyle's device.
Who bought the nicotine?
Kyle bought his device from his brother, and then his brother's got some people who sell it to him, I guess, and he resells them. That's the way Dane makes money.
All right.
And nothing happened.
So how late? I mean, you guys. When did everybody say, "All right, good night, we're all going to sleep"?
On the floor.
You guys work for roughly 6 hours.
I haven't slept yet.
So 4 a.m. everyone decides to go to sleep.
Around that time.
So all you guys did for 6 hours was FaceTime friends, listen to music, and who were you FaceTiming?
I wasn't FaceTime. It was Dane and Giovanni, just girls and their friend Saeed. I don't know any of them. I kind of know Saeed, but I don't know anyone else.
Okay. All right. So 4 a.m. everybody goes to sleep, but you never fell asleep though.
Right.
Where were you?
I was in Dane's room on his bed.
I was in Dane in his room on his bed.
Hmm?
Where was Dane?
He was there too.
You guys were sharing bed together?
He was he had a blow up bed, and we were all around the area, but when Dane fell asleep, he ended up falling asleep on the blow up bed right next to his bed in his room.
It's on the air mattress. Do you know where everybody else was in the house at this point?
Elaine was in her room, Kyle was in his room, and Giovanni was at the top of the stairs.
That Kyle was your best friend. Why wouldn't you be in his room? Why would you be in his little brother's room?
Just because No reason. I mean, I was in Kyle's room a lot. It's just I ended up at that point in danger.
I'm sorry, what would you say Giovanni was?
The top of the stairs is a big area.
It's like a loft?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're laying in Dane's bed and you can't sleep. What's going through your mind?
I was just thinking now is a good opportunity, and that's why I did it now.
Opportunity to do what?
But I did.
Just to kill, or?
To attack them. Man, I have my reasons for all of them.
That's all. That's the most important thing I need to know. What were your reasons?
You just were hanging out, having fun with them, and you were friends with them.
It's bizarre because, I mean, we already have all the physical evidence. Not like we're trying to make a case against you.
Right.
You clearly killed him. You admitted to it. I figure this would be the part you'd want to share with us. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me in the simplest terms.
Alright, I'll try. Well, Giovanni was earlier in the day he was saying stuff about how people are gods and like shirk and stuff like that.
Who?
Say that again, the last part?
Shirk is polytheism, biggest sin in Islam.
Okay. So he believed in many gods, is what you're saying?
No, he's just saying that like humans are gods, which is big sin. Plus, just he's a bad person. He like does fornication. He's doing stuff with girls. He's smoking weed, all that kind of stuff. So I knew he wasn't a good person to begin with.
So weed, fornication.
The only reason I attacked him first was because of where he was.
Well, that's not the only reason. You just listed 3 reasons.
No, that's the reason I attacked him first.
First. Oh. So you're saying all these other people had
Dane
sins?
was in the blow-up bed, which is in the corner, so it's kind of hard to reach to him. And Elaine was in the room behind closed doors.
How?
All right. Logistically, let's go back. You're in the room with Dane, but it was hard to reach him, so you decided I'll just jump out of bed and go to the outside of the room.
It's just like a couple feet. It's really close by.
What was a couple feet? The loft?
The loft. It's just a couple steps.
And the knife was in your bed with you?
The knife was in my pocket.
Okay.
I had a sheet.
Yeah.
When did you decide you were going to commit these attacks?
Once everyone was asleep. And
No, that's when you found an opportunity to commit the attacks. When did you decide I want to
attack someone in general? Or
Yeah.
them? No, I mean, obviously you were
forever, I guess.
You've always wanted to kill somebody.
I guess you could say that.
before you were a Muslim.
No.
So since becoming a Muslim, you
Sure.
you wanted to. Okay.
You never had thoughts of harming other people. You attacked your sister before you converted.
No, yeah, that's another thing that was inaccurate. She did sleep with a knife.
Inaccurate about what I told Kyle a week and a half ago.
Yeah, she did
Okay.
sleep with a knife, but it had nothing to do with me. She just did that. And the thing about me kicking her in the head was, it was some altercation. We were arguing about something, and I ended up hurting her badly somehow. I don't remember if it's kicking or hitting, but I guess she wasn't hurt physically, but I guess it hurt, but she wasn't damaged at all. And I guess the next day at school, she reported it to the school police, and they opened a domestic violence case. But I think the knife was even before that. It was unrelated to.
Right, but my point is, you had violent tendencies before converting.
No.
You kicked a girl in the head.
Your sister.
No, alright, she was fighting me too, so.
How old your sister?
She's 15 now, she was probably 14 or 13 then.
So you guys were this was just rough housing
Rough
around.
housing, and then we actually got into an actual argument, and then that's when things escalated. She was throwing things at me, I ended up hitting her or kicking her or whatever I did. The knife was unrelated.
Okay. Let's go back to this morning. 4 a.m. You get up. Giovanni's the easiest target. But you said you always wanted to kill somebody. I still want to know, when did you want to kill these people who were connected to your friends?
When you bought that knife, did you buy that knife with the intention of killing these people that day?
Mm-hmm. I bought it just so I could have a knife on me.
So Giovanni clearly upset you when he was talking about polytheism.
Well, no, that's just another reason to the pile. I mean,
to the pile because he smoked weed and
And he's a Catholic, yeah. So all that stuff together.
okay. How long have you known him?
I met him yesterday at the downtown.
You met him yesterday afternoon.
Yes.
And how do you know
And
he was
you-
having sex and smoking weed? And
He bragged about it.
you know what kids do?
I'm well.
I mean, bragging. I mean, kind of
Yeah.
cool. But just him even saying that was worth him dying over.
The main thing was because he's not Muslim. He's a citizen of this country.
So your belief is that every person who's a citizen of this country and is not Muslim should be dead.
No, you're attacking our country, your government, and killing the citizens. And the Quran says, fight them as they fight you, or something along those lines. So you're killing our innocent civilians.
So you feel it's right.
Same
to kill
retaliation, yeah. Just all that extra stuff with the fornication and the weed and the shirk. It's just all
others.
extra.
So do you know how many people you killed?
No. I know I killed Giovanni. I don't know about Damon.
How do you know that he's dead?
I saw him. He was squirming and moving, and then he just stopped.
After you cut his throat.
Yes.
Did you have any regrets at that point?
After I started stabbing him, I think I stabbed him in the stomach first. And he started squirming, and I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have done this.
But then you killed him anyway, cut his throat.
Oh, why? Why did you have that doubt at that point?
Because it's just, at that point, like, you realized, oh, I just ruined my life, and then...
So this wasn't about feeling bad for the trauma you inflicted on Giovanni. Well, it had nothing to do with seeing him writhing in pain.
I mean, that's a little bit.
But mostly because this was self-preservation. That's where the regret came from.
Yes, yeah, sure.
So why not run out of the house at that point? Why run back in and start killing other people? Or stabbing other people?
Run back in?
No. I mean, not run out of the house. If self-preservation was on your mind.
Yeah, you felt bad. You thought you screwed your life. Well, you just decided, screw it, I'm going to keep going now?
Well, after I was attacking him, Giovanni, and he was still, like, bleeding and screaming, then Elaine woke up and she came and said, what's going on? And she eventually came up the stairs, and then that's when she saw me covered in blood with the knife.
What did you do to her?
And then I lunged at her. I don't know if I hit her or not, but she ended up falling down the stairs. And then when she was on the floor, I stabbed her.
Where?
I think in the stomach. But she was kicking, so I don't know if I actually hit her or not. But then that's when Dane woke up, so I ran up the stairs and I attacked Dane.
Where was he? You found him?
And he was like in the hallway between his room and the wall.
After attacking him, how did you attack him? You stabbed him in the stomach? You tried to cut his throat?
Stomach, throat, yeah.
Okay, then what?
Is Dane alive? Is he dead?
We're not going to do any of that right now, okay? You're going to find out plenty.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of time to think about what happened.
Right.
Okay, so let's just wrap up this because I want to go back to a few things, but I want to finish a series of events. What happened after that, after you stopped Dane?
I ran into Kyle's room, I woke him up. He thought I was joking, but I eventually...
What'd you say to him? You said you thought he was joking. You thought you were joking.
I woke him up. I'm like, Kyle, wake up. I just killed, I don't know if I said Giovanni, but I said Dane's friend or whatever. And then I attacked Dane. You need to wake up or...
Don't you think waking up your friend and saying I just killed your brother, don't you think a negative emotion's going to happen there? Or you guys are just so close it doesn't even matter?
I just wanted him to know that I wasn't going to hurt him. I didn't want him to wake up like random bodies and he thinks he's in trouble. Like by me, I think I'm going to kill him. Just wanted to let him know that I think I said I'm sorry, but I said I'm sorry Kyle, I just did this. I'm not going to hurt you, you're my best friend. I said I want you to become Muslim.
What do you say to that?
He didn't say anything to me, he just sat in his bed like kind of in shock, I guess. And
You
then
didn't say anything about, I don't want to become Muslim because I don't want to pray 5 times a day.
that was like before times, just whenever I brought it up.
In the past, he's okay.
And he didn't say, is my mom okay? Nothing?
I didn't mention his mom.
Okay. But you said you attacked his brother. He didn't run out to see if his brother was okay, or what did he do?
He just sat there. He just woke up. He might have thought I was still joking, but I think he eventually saw Giovanni's body.
So at what point do you guys walk out of that room together?
I don't walk out with him. I just leave him there, and I run downstairs, and I go in the bathroom and I sit down because I'm getting all dizzy. My eyesight's going out. I can't really stand. So I sit down inside the shower area in the bathroom, and I take my wallet out. I take my the knife sheath out of my pocket. I still have the knife, and I put them down. Then eventually I decide to run to like a walk-in closet area with some cabinets or like drawers, and
Why'd you go there?
just seemed like a better spot at the time. I don't know.
Were you waiting for something to happen? Were you?
I was waiting for the cops to show up.
So you didn't contemplate suicide at any point?
No, I couldn't kill myself with a knife
Why didn't you try to leave?
because they just chased me on foot.
Well, you couldn't kill yourself with a knife. Why is that?
Because it's painful. I wouldn't do that.
But you just killed a bunch of people with a knife.
And I saw how painful it was.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get a gun? Why only a knife?
I don't have access to a gun.
If you had access to a gun, you would have chosen that.
Did you ever try to get into your
Never.
you didn't know the combination, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know he removed the guns at our request last year.
Yes. I put it back in there.
You told me that. If you thought you were on the right track.
Mm.
You withdrew from high school a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Did you start taking online classes?
We were signing up for it, but I never got around to it.
Who's with you and your mom?
My mom, my grandma, and me.
You and Kyle watching any videos last night or this morning?
Like just watching random YouTube videos.
What though?
There's a YouTuber called Grade A Under A, just making funny videos. I think one we watched was Stupid Things My Brain Does. Just like random things like that. Nothing related.
So nothing related to ISIS or. So what do you have to say about? I mean, I'm friends with a lot of Muslims. I work with Muslims on my squad. They're good people. They don't hurt other
Muslims
people.
don't work for Catholic governments. They may send them a costume.
They don't work for what now? Say that again. So it's clearly.
Disbeliever Catholic.
What do you have to say about all the Muslims that pray and go to mosque and don't harm other people, have no intention of harming other people?
That's their thing. I mean,
And that's their thing. So are they wrong? You think they're not?
no.
They're not doing it
They're
right?
still Muslim. They're still all that. It's just they're doing all that is required of them to do. They don't need to do what I did. It's just.
So you could have done what was all that was required without killing somebody, and you still chose to kill somebody.
Well, jihad is an individual requirement. I'm just saying that these people, they think they're doing all that they need to do, and they think they're doing right in their mind.
Where did you learn about jihad?
It's just all in the Quran and all the books, by the scholars Ibn al-Qayyim.
You're not reading these books. You're doing stuff online.
I got the documents from Telegram.
Telegram is what? What? I'm an old man. What's
It's
Telegram?
a secure kind of messaging app.
Okay, so it's an app on your phone.
You could send documents over to it. There's channels where you could distribute documents and videos and audio.
You know, all this is good. My biggest concern is who else do you know of right now that might do the same thing, that might share your views?
No one.
You don't know another kid out there who thinks it's cool to stab 13-year-old kids in the stomach and slice their throats.
Mm-hmm.
on this Telegram, you're not talking to any other kids or any other kids posting stuff like you
I
were
don't
posting?
talk to any other kids, no.
Nobody's ever approached you, trying to recruit you?
No,
What about the mosque?
I haven't been there in a while.
I know, before.
What was your experience like there?
They were on their side. They were teaching against. They were saying how bad Anwar al-Awlaki is.
AAA. We talked about him. You defended him. You pointed at me and said our government killed him.
He did.
So the mosque you attended was anti-ISIS.
Sure. Yes.
What mosque was this, for the record?
Islamic Center, Palm Beach.
Did that upset you when they?
No, I just ignored it and focused on what good they were teaching. Like the classes I went to on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I don't know if I told that to you or the other people.
What other people? Oh, the cops earlier today? Okay.
Detectives.
So it was this Telegram thing that switched you from
No,
peaceful
no.
Islam? What switched you? What radicalized you?
I'm not radicalized. I just.
You know what I'm saying.
Nothing in particular. Just the whole everything combined. YouTube, Instagram, Telegram.
I mean, give me an example of something, because this is clearly, in your mind, a spectrum, okay? So you got your disbelievers, the Muslims I work with at the FBI, right?
And attendee apostates.
Right. And then you have people who've been radicalized, and you think you fall somewhere in between there?
Well, your definition of extremism is probably different than mine.
Well, that's what I want to know. My definition of extremism has, involves taking human life and things like that.
The real extremist in Islam are the takfiris, which are the people who declare others apostates, like when they commit a big sin. Like, let's say you eat pork, and then these extremists will say you're not a Muslim because you ate pork, even though that's not how it works. It's just a sin. That's not a nullifier. So those are the extremists for the Muslims. For the U.S. government, it's just the Muslims that are following the religion truly, like the Islamic State. We're the moderates. I mean, there's the extremist peaceful people, and there's the extremist takfiris who declare others apostates. And Islamic State is moderate in that regard.
Earlier you said we attacked your country. What country is that?
Islamic State.
You don't talk online to the Islamic State and they tell you what to do?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever try to make contact with them?
Never.
You never thought about going to Syria to fight?
There's no way.
What do you mean there's no way? We'll do it all the time.
No, you can't get to Syria anymore because the Kurds attacked Raqqa and they lost it. Now there's
Fair enough.
not really a way to get to Syria anymore.
So you would have tried.
No, I don't have. I know I'm on probably on a no-fly list or whatever, and
Right.
you don't have a passport or get a passport, raise more suspicion.
So
There's no way.
So, but I need to know exactly the address of where you were living again in that show. How often have you been sleeping in that place?
I've only slept there 3 days, like
Consecutively?
not consecutively.
Okay.
Just whenever I need a place and I can't find a place to sleep over at, be it Kyle's or my grandma's.
Can I ask you something? Just for a moment. You attack a 13-year-old sleeping kid with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
If you why not attack the guy that's being abusive to you? Why would you attack a sleeping 13-year-old? Like if you want
talking about Jay?
Yeah, sure.
Right, he's a man that's abusing you, so you say. Why not attack a man who's causing you harm instead of a
It's just all about
13-year-old?
convenience.
It was just easier. I mean, obviously it's harder to attack a full-grown man than a sleeping 13-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to that place you were in. You said not consecutively. When was the first time you stayed there?
Maybe a month ago.
Mm, Is it in a strip mall? It's just one.
It's just a plaza. It's most of it's abandoned, but there's a Domino's and there's a liquor store and there's a nail shop at one corner, but everything else is abandoned there.
I'm assuming the space you were sleeping in, or the unit, whatever you want to call it, was formerly some sort of retail or something. Do you know what it was?
It was. I don't know what the front is. Kyle and I were suspecting it was either like a car dealership or a computer, like some
Call
kind of
center.
something computerized, and because there were like TV stands there
Okay.
in their boxes and there's a lot of electronics.
What was next door? Were there any open businesses on either side of this place?
Mm-hmm. We got in by opening. There was just a door open.
Okay. And this was on US 1 and what? What was the major intersection?
There's no intersection there.
So,
It's right by the McDonald's and the melting pot and the Domino's.
Your best friend, Kyle, he's not a Muslim.
Right.
He told you he doesn't want to be a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
So how come he doesn't fall under your theory of wanting to kill?
yeah, he's not a Muslim. And
Because it's personal. I've always known him. He's always been my friend, my only friend.
So he doesn't sin. He doesn't smoke weed, or
Right. He's mostly good, like for a disbeliever. And then I've always had the hope that he eventually would convert. Because he's my friend and he spends a lot of time around me.
after I saw you last year, obviously at the time the concerns were threats you were making online, which at that time you didn't admit to. Did you get back on the computer and do anything else? You ever went back on and praised old Marmatine or his birthday or anything like that?
Speaking of the computer, why? I looked at all that evidence. Why shut down that school? Why send those things? Do you like a girl over there? What was that about?
That was just a prank I did with my friend
Which friend?
in the UK.
Okay, so you're the friend over there. You just met him online.
What was the name?
I'm not giving the name, but they probably know him over there. One day I talked to him.
You went to that high school.
No.
No?
He lived in a different city. This was before, we were both white nationalists before, and then we both converted to Islam. And
Go back to that part. White nationalists. Explain that to me.
we're both basically white supremacist racist people.
Okay.
Luckily we were both safe from that.
What group were you part of?
No groups. It was just an Instagram thing. We're both running like conservative Instagram thing.
How were you saved from that?
By Islam. We both converted and kind of helping each other with that. And anyway, before we both converted, we were just both screwing around. We decided to make these fake ISIS accounts. And it wasn't, I don't even think that was the first time, like the time that it was probably like my second account, fake ISIS account, just messing with people. And then I guess it got out of hand because the threat that I posted got actually spread outside of Instagram onto Snapchat and Facebook or whatever the article said. And people thought it was real, and then the actual school got shut down. I didn't do it on purpose. It was just by mistake. We were just messing with people. It was a prank, pretending to be ISIS.
But there was some girl involved too, right?
I remember talking to girls. I don't remember what I said.
Was the storage place in the same plaza as the melting pot?
No, it's in the same kind of plaza as the McDonald's, sort of.
Anyways, how did you meet this guy over there? Just online, because you're both white supremacists on some forum or something.
Instagram.
On Instagram.
Instagram.
So you could see him and say, okay, he shares my beliefs.
Right. He was a British nationalist, and I was a.
How old is that guy? An older dude?
He's around my age.
Why that school though? If he wasn't even in that city.
I don't remember how he found it. It was
He
just-
found it for you though?
No, I found it.
Oh,
I
you
think.
found this for you.
I don't remember how I found it.
Does he share? Was he saved by ISIS also, or was he still a white supremacist?
At that point,
No.
now
Yeah.
he's a Muslim now. I don't know what his
So he
was
converted also. You guys converted together?
around the same time, like within the same couple weeks. I don't know if he supports any groups or whatever. I don't know if he's extremist or whatever. I haven't talked to him in a long time. He deleted his Telegram randomly, and I haven't seen him since.
What were his names online?
I'm not gonna get that.
Why?
Because if he's still safe and not like arrested or anything or on some watch list, I don't want to get him on there.
So you don't want to get him in trouble, but what if he kills someone? You said you felt bad for these kids you killed. What if he kills someone? You could at least save those kids. Wouldn't that redeem you somehow? A little bit? If you could save other kids' lives?
If he wants to do that, that's his thing. I'm not gonna interfere.
This spot is it. The McDonald's and melting pot aren't that close to each other. Okay.
It's where's the show in the melting pot at?
This is the melting pot down here.
You sure that's the right melting pot? This is the one on US 1.
It's on US
I don't recognize it. So just McDonald's should be solid. I don't recognize any of these places.
Right. Well, Kyle knows where it is, right?
Yeah.
I'd really like to go back to this one more time here. You meet this guy online, and you're a white supremacist, but most ISIS people are not white. So if you have hatred towards people who aren't white, why join a group that's predominantly not white?
Didn't join a group, it was a prank. At that point, we both didn't like
Oh, okay.
Muslims at all.
Right, that's what I would think.
That's why it was funny at the time.
That was October of 16. You converted on January 1st of 17. We're talking about
A couple months.
a couple months.
Mhm.
How did that happen so quickly?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just started liking it. Thought it was the truth.
Did you like it because they were more violent than the white supremacists? Part of you likes the violence?
I wasn't originally supportive of the. I mean, I sort of supported the violence, but I wasn't really into the ISIS until after a couple months.
As a white supremacist, so as a Muslim, you killed people who weren't Muslim. As a white supremacist, did you ever have plans on killing blacks or Hispanics?
I never had any plans for that.
No.
I've read a police report at your high school that.
Yeah, on the video it said apparently I threatened blacks at Dwyer, but I never had any trouble at Dwyer except for one time I got punched, and that was completely unrelated. Because some guy bumped into me in the hallway, I told him to watch where he was going, and he ended up punching me. That's the only trouble I've ever gotten in at Dwyer, so I don't know where the threatening blacks came from.
Alright, so you switched to ISIS, and you're kind of talking with this guy online, and you guys both agree the white supremacy thing's not cool, and ISIS is more cool.
No, not really.
Okay, walk me through it.
We were both white supremacists at that time, but we were thinking like, because the reason I got into the white supremacy in the first place is because I was just trying to find out something that's moral, something that's away from like degeneracy and all that kind of stuff. And I thought what I thought at the time was maybe white people are better in that regard than non-whites. But after being in the community for a while, I saw that not only the white people, but just the white supremacists were just as bad as everyone else, if not worse in some regards.
Okay, how so?
So that's just with like fornication and doing drugs and stuff like that. Just stuff like that.
Okay.
So at that point I was kind of disillusioned with the white supremacy thing, so that's why I was searching for the other alternatives.
You find this on
Find Islam.
online.
I find Islam first, not like ISIS first.
Mhm.
Really.
Okay.
So, and then I'm Muslim. So.
And this guy, you're kind of talking with him the whole time, like, hey, what do you think about this? Islam versus.
Right, he's the same thing with the morality and the disillusion.
You guys ever talk on the phone or just always online?
Just over text.
Hey Corey, you asked me earlier if Dana died.
Right.
Why did you ask me that?
I was just wondering.
Why?
Because
Are you
it
hoping
seemed,
he survived, or do you want to see a higher kill count?
honestly, I'm just wondering because his wounds seemed a lot. They seemed pretty bad after I got off of him. So I was just wondering if he bled out or something. Because he was still alive when I left him, but he was I think he was bleeding pretty badly.
You didn't ask me about his lane though.
Because I barely attacked her at all. I stabbed her a couple times, but nothing bad. So I figured she was. That's all right as you could get after being stabbed a couple times.
All right, so this guy, you ever talk to this guy overseas about stabbing people?
No, we never talked about any extreme.
Nothing extreme.
No.
Do you have any thought that he might do something like this?
I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
What's a long time?
Months. I mean,
Why? You seem like a pretty good friend online.
he just deleted his Telegram randomly.
But you said you were texting him, so you had his phone number, right?
I had his Telegram.
Oh, okay.
Did you tell him that the FBI spoke to you about the high school friends,
I think I did.
and that he deleted his account?
Not immediately. After, a couple weeks after. So I don't know if it was related or not. I figured maybe somebody talked to him and he got scared and deleted his account. I figured.
Okay.
I don't know.
And you don't want us to try to stop him from hurting anybody else?
I don't know if he's gonna do that. If you need to.
Yeah, we would like to have our partners in the UK reach out to him, talk to him. He's gone down the same path as you.
You said two things, man. Let me touch it. You said you ruined your life. You said it earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you care about this guy, don't let him ruin his life. And you're asking if other people are dying. Let's stop other kids from dying, and let's not.
If you want to check on him, go ahead.
Yeah, what's his name? Just give me his name.
Can't you look through my internet?
Yeah, we can, but kids could die today, man. This is a big deal. I'm done burying. I'm done with the dead kids thing. Just tell me his name.
I'm not saying his name.
You tell us his name, we'll tell you if the kid's alive or dead.
I don't care. I was just wondering. I don't really. Honestly, Dane has always been pretty nice to me.
So do you want him to be alive?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. He was pretty badly injured though, so I don't know.
What was the worst injury? His throat?
It was dark. I didn't see.
Alright, let's step out for a minute. Corey, sit tight, man.
Can you get someone to bring me to the restroom?
Sure.
What's up, man? Hey, she just needs to get some pictures of it. You need
How about,
any other pictures standing up or
about
not?
arms?
Do you have any other cuts on your eye?
I don't think so.
No?
What?
Want us to bring him to clean his hands off so we can get better pictures?
Yes, please.
We're gonna go to the bathroom real quick so we can clean your hands off there and stuff.
I've tried it.
That's his,
Give this to Mark.
Yep.
What happened? What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
I killed somebody.
You killed some guy.
I guess.
Did you stab Elaine and Dane?
Yes.
Why?
Because Elaine was rushing up the stairs, and then Dane came out too.
And what were you trying to do?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
When did you get to their house?
Last night.
You were staying at their house?
So for that day, I've been sleeping outside.
Did Elaine know
Yes.
that you were staying at her house last night?
Yes.
Well, why was everyone rushing upstairs?
Because I heard the guy screaming.
What guy?
The guy I stabbed.
Kyle?
Not Kyle. It's Giovanni. I met him. I don't know.
Some guy I don't know. He was at Kyle's too?
He's Dane's friend.
He's a kid. He's 13.
He was.
He's dead?
I guess.
Why did you stab him? What was Kyle doing when all this was
I
going
was
on?
sleeping. And I haven't slept in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Elaine and Dane, did they get hurt bad?
I don't think Elaine got hurt bad. I don't know about Dane. They wouldn't tell me.
But what did the kid do?
Nothing.
Were you all sleeping in the same room?
No, it was all different parts of the house.
Where did the knife come from?
I bought it at Publix. And I shouldn't have done that.
No, why couldn't you just stay home and not run away and follow my rules?
Your rules are dumb.
Well, now you're gonna have really dumb rules.
Jay said if I don't like the rules, leave the house. So I did. Your boyfriend told me to do that. Yeah?
Eating in your room and coming in at a decent hour is not bad. Now the rules you're gonna have to follow are gonna be way worse.
You know my eating schedule? I eat one meal a day and I snack. If you're taking away the snacks, you're taking away half my food.
You know how to make food.
Yes, I
Hey,
know.
I don't want to talk about that.
I know.
Why would you hurt someone?
Because he's not Muslim.
Because he's not Muslim? Oh my god. I'm not either.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Mom. I didn't hurt Kyle.
I don't know what's happened to you. why. I don't know why you would do this. You're in big trouble.
I know.
You may have killed someone? Nobody will tell me anything. I don't know.
One, maybe two. I don't know.
One, maybe two, maybe three. It doesn't matter to you.
There's nothing I could do now. Just sit
Because I didn't want you to spend the night at Kyle's house?
here. No, because you wouldn't let me stay outside. That's just one reason, Mom.
No.
This is a straw that the camel back.
It doesn't really matter what my rules in my house are now, because you're not there. And you won't be. Seriously, can you tell me why you did that?
I did.
Were you sleeping?
I was alone awake.
You were just laying awake all night?
I wasn't tired. It was at 4 in the morning.
And what was the other kid doing? Sleeping?
Everyone was sleeping.
And you stabbed someone and then they were sleeping? Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know you.
If you're gonna say that, you might as well.
I don't know you. So, somebody was sleeping.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Probably should have a lawyer.
I already talked to the FBI and the police.
You probably should have a lawyer.
Too late now.
What's the kid's name?
Which one? Giovanni?
Yeah. That's Dane's friend?
Yes. We might want to talk about
What did he do to you?
nothing. He didn't do anything.
Then why is he stabbed?
No, I said I don't want to talk about it.
I really don't. I don't know. You need help. You need major help. I've been trying to get you help. Obviously, nothing worked. Well, what now, Bruce?
I don't know. What, do you know what time it is?
It's like one.
It's 1 already?
Ish. Can I hug him? Covered in blood. I love you. That's incredibly stupid. I don't know. I have nothing else to say. I love you.
Can I use the restroom? Love you.
That's love me.
I know.
You good?
Can I use the restroom?
Again? Holy cow.
What time is it?
Yeah, it's 1:30. Let him bring your mom
No,
downstairs.
I don't need to use the restroom, but I need to do something with water because I have time for prayer.
Okay. Give me a second when he comes back. Alright? What do you gotta do?
I gotta wash my hands and it just like hurts my body before prayer.
Okay. You gotta wait for the other detective to come back. Alright, but we're gonna bring you downstairs.
Let me see your hand, man. Just go like this. Open your fingers up a little bit. Okay. We're gonna leave you in the front if you're cool with us, okay? You gonna be alright? Alright. We're gonna have the medics come and clean that up for you, buddy.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, please check out my Patreon. Not much more to say, but hey, everyone, please take care of your family. Take care of your mental health. Take it easy, Wildcats.